dead of night, a figure stalks its prey, seeking life's most precious resource, blood. The idea of vampires draining the essence of life has haunted humanity for centuries. But what if I told you these myths helped shape the way we understand and use blood in modern medicine? Throughout history, blood has been seen as the essence of life. Ancient cultures, from the Egyptians to the Aztecs, believed that blood held sacred power. Sacrifices and rituals often involved the spilling of blood to appease gods or heal the sick. By the Middle Ages, this obsession took a more practical turn. Physicians believed that blood was one of the 4 bodily humors, and its imbalance could cause illness. Enter the practice of bloodletting. Bloodletting became one of the most common medical practices of the time. Physicians used lancets, leeches, and even crude suction devices to drain blood, believing it could cure anything from fevers to mental disorders. Leeches were prized tools, able to extract blood painlessly, well, relatively painlessly. But while the results were often deadly, the practice persisted for centuries. It's no coincidence that vampire myths flourished during this time. The imagery of creatures consuming blood mirrored society's morbid fascination with the substance as both life-giving and deadly. As the vampire myth grew, so did our scientific curiosity about blood. Early experiments in transfusion attempted to use blood as a cure-all, inspired by the idea that it could transfer vitality from one being to another. In 1667, French physician Jean-Baptiste Denis performed one of the first recorded blood transfusions, using lamb's blood on a human patient. The results were disastrous, but the idea of using blood to heal took root. By the 19th century, the rise of Gothic literature, particularly Bram Stoker's Dracula, intertwined vampires and blood with both horror and fascination. At the same time, medical science was uncovering the true nature of blood types and the risks of transfusion. The 20th century marked a turning point. Scientists like Karl Landsteiner discovered blood types, paving the way for safe transfusions. Suddenly, what had once been the stuff of horror became a life-saving medical procedure. During World War II, blood banks revolutionized medicine. The ability to store and transfuse blood on demand transformed battlefield medicine and civilian healthcare alike. Today, donating blood is a simple, noble act that saves millions of lives annually. But behind every pint lies a history shaped by myth, experimentation, and even fear. Interestingly, the vampire myth still influences science today. Researchers are exploring synthetic blood and the potential of young blood transfusions to combat aging, a concept eerily reminiscent of the vampire's eternal youth. The vampire myth has always reflected our deepest fears and desires. But it also serves as a metaphor for humanity's quest to understand the essence of life, blood. From bloodletting rituals to life-saving transfusions, this great blood heist has given us more than just stories. It's shaped the way we save lives today. If this journey through the history of blood fascinated you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because the story of medicine is just as thrilling as any vampire tale.